The goal of all ascetic practice is love, to ascend an inner Mount Sinai, an inner temple. The human person is thus a sacred precinct, the Holy of Holies. The goal is apatheia. Now, apatheia has no easy translation into English. It can be translated as tranquility or passionlessness or detachment from clinging to the affairs of daily life. What apatheia is not is a simple lack of feeling or indifference. Apatheia looks like the word apathy, for which for us in English means simply a depressed, unenthusiastic indifference. Apatheia for Evagrius and the solitary desert monastics was the goal of all their work. Apatheia is freedom. Freedom from negative thoughts, freedom from negative feelings, freedom from the barriers to our soul's ascension to the kingdom of heaven. When we achieve the state of apatheia, we are free of vice. What are the signs of apatheia? Calm in the affairs of daily life. Tranquility when witnessing images and dreams. Eventually, the spirit begins to see its own light. But what of the life of Evagrius? Evagrius was born in the year 345 in what is now northern Turkey, in the town of Pontus near the Black Sea. Basil of Caesarea made him a lector. Gregory of Nazianzus made him a deacon. He was never a priest. He was surrounded by a who's who of 4th century Christian monasticism and theology. In the year 383, he goes to Egypt, to the Cenobitic community at Nitria. In 385, he moves further out into the desert at Kelia, into the cells. For an age of the world in which so much was valued by the longevity of its practitioners, he died relatively young at the age of 54. What is in the way? What is in our way of achieving apatheia? Evagrius was a mystical map maker. If apatheia is the goal, what are the barriers? Evagrius thought that there are 8 thoughts in groups opposing that goal. Evagrius taught that the main barriers to apatheia are 8 thoughts or logismoi that needed to be opposed. They are sometimes called the 7 deadly sins. Yes, it's true, Evagrius was the first to document the 7 deadly sins, although actually he listed 8. Gluttony, fornication, love of money or avarice, sadness, anger, and the one that is so frequently mistranslated as sloth, which is akidia. Akidia, vainglory, and pride. These thoughts or sins or vices are not just random evil. Evagrius did not believe we were intrinsically evil. He believed we are intrinsically good. Evagrius did not hate the body or think the body evil. Evagrius had a medical model. We are not responsible for the disease of gluttony or anger or sadness, but we are responsible for the treatment. Gluttony, for example, according to Evagrius, would be brought on by What is akidia? Akidia has no easy translation into English. It's sometimes listed as listlessness, described as boredom. Merriam-Webster defines it as boredom. despondency, despair. Evagrius said it was the most difficult of the thoughts or logismoi for the monk to overcome. John Cassian called it a weariness or tedium of the heart. It is when the light of God is blocked from it. We know it's out there, but we can't see it, and we're hidden from the light of the above. Evagrius said, this is because it preceded the one meal of the day for the monk, which happens at the 9th hour. Evagrius saw the danger the thoughts of anger and fornication could pose as predisposing the monk to acedia. So acedia could be brought on by these other negative emotions, these negative thoughts, these demons attacking the solitary. However, these demons are considered essential in the making of the monk. How can they be essential? Well, they say you play at the level of your competition. And these demons are our sparring partners. Wrestling with one's psychic demons is a necessary part of becoming a well-trained athlete. And that is why we have to remember that the word ascetic really comes from the Greek for athletic effort. Evagrius saw it that the demons are God's unwilling servants. They're instruments of grace. They are instruments of grace because they help purify the monk. Evagrius compared a monk falling prey to these demons as an athlete who runs away from the athletic stadium, fleeing the field of combat. Are demons indispensable? Do they make the monk? Evagrius said, Evagrius taught that the bodily passions, such as gluttony and fornication, fade away over time. But the passions of the soul, such as acedia, can only be cut off by spiritual love. The noonday demon embraces the entire soul and oppresses the spirit. How do we fight back against these thoughts? How do we fight back? What is the anti-retikos, talking back to these 8 thoughts, these 8 sins, these demons? Evagrius taught that the work of a monk is to oppose demonic thoughts. He created a handbook, a combat manual to aid the monk in combat with demons, and they have a spell-like quality. This talking back, or antiretikos, fits with the Evagrian ideals that the demons were supernatural sparring partners. The antiretikos took the form of scriptural passages selected for each type of thought or vice. The formula is against the thought, such as against the thought of anger or gluttony, or against the thoughts of acedia that take away hope. He would say, against the thoughts of acedia that take away hope, quote, I believe I will see the good things of the Lord in the land of the living, from the Psalms. Or against the thoughts of acedia that come to us due to afflictions, be patient in suffering, persevere in prayer, Romans 12. Or against the thoughts that feed on anger against someone who received many good things from us, and then complain about them. Quote, so let us not grow weary in doing what is right, for we will reap at harvest time if we do not give up. Galatians 6. or in an age of angry emails. Evagrius said, what Evagrius developed is a handbook of monastic solitary combat. Evagrius says, we've carefully selected words from the Holy Scriptures so that we may equip ourselves with them and drive out the Philistines forcefully, standing firm in the battle as warriors and soldiers of our victorious King, Jesus Christ. The goal is the state of proper detachment called apatheia. The weapons are the precise knowledge of the weaknesses of our interior life, knowledge of the demonic thoughts or logismoi that attack us. The palliative effects of these treatments are the treatments of prayer, scripture, direct teaching from the holy fathers of the desert, talking back to negativity, fight back. Prayer is the treatment for acedia. Acedia and a problem of the soul was like diabetes, a lifelong problem without a true cure. But long-term treatment for this despair is entirely in our reach. Prayer is the treatment of acedia in order to achieve apatheia. Demons oppose prayer. Prayer is an athletic exercise. Its power grows as you perform it. Evagrius says, Evagrius was a map maker of the soul, a guide on our travels to the purity and freedom of the interior country of apatheia. This is the freedom humans have sought since the beginning of time. The freedom from our own negativity, which Evagrius describes as psychic, spiritual diseases, from gluttony to acedia. Is Evagrius even a milligram less important now than he was in the 4th century? Absolutely not. He's more important. Half of adults are obese, half die of heart disease. Is this not gluttony? 37,000 Americans commit suicide each year. Is this not acedia? Evagrius says, we are born pure. The body is not evil. We have a disease. Only our own efforts can affect the cure and the treatment, and prayer is the main treatment. Love is the goal.